I'm going to be making umeboshi plants. I'm going to take you through the whole process from harvest to finish. Let's get to it. The first things we're going to need is, first of all, a tree of underripe plums. As you can see, this one's the coloration of the fruit. They are not fully ripe, they're just under, a little bit tart, not very all the way soft. That's what we're looking for, and we're gonna pick them up and put them in a basket. And then we're gonna take it to our kitchen, and then we're going to start by washing these plums very well because they've been exposed to the elements. And once they're washed, we are going to leave them drain very well, and possibly I would recommend to dry them one by one using a cloth, but this is optional. Next thing, we're gonna grab a container and we're going to disinfect it using 91% alcohol. This is going to eliminate all possible contamination already present in the bottle. Also, you can sterilize it using hot water or steam. This is a very easy way to do it. 91% alcohol. Then we proceed to measure our ingredients. What we are looking for here is of the total of fruit, we're going to use an extreme amount of salt. So we're going to put all these plums here in this container in the scale. So we're using grams in this case because grams are more accurate than ounces in order to measure the ingredients in a more accurate way. So then we're going to, of the total of plums, we're going to use a 30% of salt, which is an extreme amount. This is a big pile. This happens to be 500 grams. And then there you go, boom. And then we're gonna put all that on these plums. And this is when our process of fermentation starts. In the moment we put the salt on, and you see it's an amazing amount of salt. We're using, in this case, Himalayan pink salt because it's a very pure, clean salt. So what we're gonna label with the date our jar. I want you to wait, and I'm gonna take you through the process. This is day 1 of what is going to happen over the days. You see, day 2 is a little bit of sweating in the bottle. As you can see, no major changes. Day 3, a little bit of change, a little bit more sweat in there. Day 4, what is going on here is the salt is extracting the water out of the plums. On day 5, you can see a little bit of water there in the bottom. I can see. As you can see, those plants are getting plumpy and they're ripening a little bit more, and all these bubbles you can see forming around the fruit, especially now on day 8, you can see all those bubbles migrating up. That is the product, this carbonic gas product of a natural fermentation of this juice. Day 9, you can see the plants are really breaking down right now, and by day 10 it's really changing. Here we are, day 11, and this is going to be the last day of our fermentation process, and we're going to take it to the next step. So now we observe how these plants are partially dehydrated and there is a lot of their juice, and this juice is also fermented now, developing a very tart note. What we're going to do now is we're going to strain these fruits from the brine. As you can see here, we're using a bowl or a colander. We're going to keep that brine. That brine is very precious. It's called umeboshi, which translates into plum vinegar. So now I'm going to dry these plums utilizing a tray lined with paper towel. I'm gonna transfer them there. And what is gonna happen now, I'm gonna put them under the blazing sun of California for maybe 3 days. I'm gonna make sure that I put them in at night. And over a few days, it's going to turn really dry. You go, these are very dry 2 days later, and I'm gonna pull them in. And what we're gonna do now, meanwhile these plants were dehydrating, that umeboshi, that liquid, keep fermentating. So that is very salty and very sour. So we're gonna dip it back in its own brine, and this is going to preserve the plants for indefinite time. This is going to be finalize our process of umeboshi preparation, and here we have 2 final products, umeboshi and umesu, which can be utilized in a variety of recipes of Japanese culture. Check it out, Google it, YouTube it. This is a perfect umeboshi that I'm going to enjoy in so many different ways. I hope you enjoy and stay tuned.